Ladies and gentlemen,
howdy folks, and welcome to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort.
Thanks for sailing with us.
All ashore that's going ashore.
Have a great visit.
Well, Margaret, here we are at Disney World Campgrounds.
Howdy folks, welcome to another episode of the Fort Wilderness Podcast. My name is Art, and today we don't know for sure, this might be the possible site of Roy's Cabin. Look that up, Google that, Roy's Cabin at Fort Wilderness. This may be the site of where Roy used to stay while they were building and designing Fort Wilderness back in the late 60s and the early 70s. But anyway, welcome to the show. On today's episode, we're going to be visiting with Ashley again, our part 2 of our interview with her regarding her wedding that she had out here at Fort Wilderness. Riley's going to be giving us the movies for the month of August, but first we're going to start things off with Reese as she gives us a tour of the 400 Loop.
Next up is How Do You Get To? This is the part of the show when we're going to give you a tour of Fort Wilderness. Today we're going to take you to the 400 Loop of the Campgrounds, called Whispering Pine Way. As you pick up your golf cart at the front entrance, you'll be heading down Fort Wilderness Trail, the main street of the park. We'll take this street all the way through the campgrounds, and we'll see a lot of things along the way. The first thing you'll pass is the turn for the 2200 through 2800 cabins. We'll visit those on a different episode. Next up on your right is the hitch and unhitch area. People that pull behind an extra vehicle with their RV usually stop here to unhook. If nobody is here and you have people in a car or bus behind you, this is a good place to pull in so that they can pass you. Next up is the 4-way stop sign that can take you to many different places. You'll see the sign with all the arrows, and you can see that it's telling us to turn right to get to the 400s. We recommend continuing straight if this is your first visit, so that you can see a few things. Continuing on straight, you'll see the signs for the 12, 11, and 1300 streets and all of their bus stops. If you get behind a bus, you might have to wait, but not very long. These buses keep a tight schedule. As a friendly reminder, you cannot pass a bus on the road at any time. Next, we'll be passing the center of the map at Fort Wilderness with the 1000s on the left and the Meadows Trading Post on the right. If you're staying in the 400s, this is not the supply store for you. You've got one closer to your site. However, this is the location of the Meadows swimming pool and a place to rent bicycles, so keep it in mind for later. Continuing on Fort Wilderness Trail, you'll pass other streets and bus stops for 900, 800, 600, and 700 before coming to our final 4-way stop sign. To get to the 400s, you will turn right here. Only Disney buses can turn left. After that, you'll make the first right turn into your campsite, Whispering Pine Way. The first thing you'll see on the right are 2 sites that back up to the 4-way stop sign. It's a great place to set up your chairs and watch the other happy campers. Continuing down the street, you will see that this is a premium site, which means you also have power, water, cable, and free internet. Getting a site in the 400s is great for those of you that tried to get one in the 100s or 200s but couldn't get in because it was booked. The 400s are right across the street. Book your trip as early as possible and make a request if you like being this close to the back of Fort Wilderness. You'll notice as we drive around the 400 Loop, there are no spots that back up to the water. If you're looking for a view of the canal, you might want to ask for a different site. If you are staying in the 400s, walk across the street and you'll enjoy the sidewalk that takes you right to Pioneer Hall, the Settlers Trading Post, the beach, and the boat dock. The sites at the 400s are good for your bigger RVs that are 45 feet in length. Most sites are 24 by 60. Also, you'll see a picnic table and a grill. All 33 sites here are great if you don't want to catch a bus. That's all for How Do You Get To the 400s. Look for us next month as we discover another location, and now we take it over to Riley for the movie schedule.
Welcome to Chippendales Campfire Sing-Along, where you can roast marshmallows, sing songs, and watch your favorite Disney movies. After a long day of Disney excitement, it's time to sit and relax under the stars for one of your favorite movies. Each month, a list of films is released, so you can plan your nights here at the Chippendale Campfire Sing-Along Show. When the list comes out, we'll be sure to let you know. The movie list for August is out, and we can tell you that the High School Musical is playing on August 1st. Thursday, August 2nd, is a Pixar hit movie, Up. Friday will bring you Peter Pan, and Saturday will be Moana. Freaky Friday from 2003 will be on the 5th. And August 6th, you can see a Goofy movie. The Rescuers will play on the 7th, and Camp Rock will play on the 8th. On August 9th, you can see Tangled, and on Friday, there will be a premiere of Disney Channel special called The New Freaky Friday. Toy Story from 1995 will play on Saturday, and Brave will play on Sunday. August 13th will bring you Tinker Bell and the Pirate Fairy, and on Tuesday the 14th, look for Monsters, Inc. After that, the movie schedule repeats from the beginning of the month, except for The Lion King on Friday the 24th, and 101 Dalmatians on Sunday the 26th. Not sure what movies you're going to watch? Just take a snapshot on your phone of the schedule and check it any time in the month of August. That's all for now. See you next time.
Thanks, Riley. Now we're back here with Ashley, who we visited with last month. She told us about her experiences here at Fort Wilderness. But today we wanted to just specifically talk about something that you did that I don't know if very many people know about or many people have done here, and that is get married at Fort Wilderness Campgrounds. Tell us how the idea came about that this is where you wanted to get married.
It was actually my husband's idea. His grandparents were original campers here at the Fort Wilderness Campground in 1971 when it opened.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
They went to the Magic Kingdom when it opened. His grandmother and grandfather loved being here. It was their favorite place to go. And in turn, my husband and his family, his sister and mom and dad, they used to come up here just because grandma and grandpa were set up. They'd drive up, from West Palm, stay the weekend, then go back, or however long they'd stay. So my husband has really awesome memories here camping and being with his grandpa. His grandpa passed away in, I want to say 2000 or 1999. Okay. So it was kind of like a sentimental thing, for him. He feels close to him here. And my brother passed away in 2013. We've had great memories with him here after we bought our first camper in 2005. So it was just kind of sentimental for both of us, and we love it so much here. We really couldn't think of anywhere else we really wanted to get married. We've been together for 18 years this past April. So it was just, we didn't want a huge wedding. We had been together 15 years when we got married, so we didn't really want anything big. We didn't want anything grand. It was just
something
memorable. Exactly. I just sent out 40 invitations, and I knew some of them wouldn't be able to make it, but family obligation, we kept it small, immediate family, aunts and uncles, couple cousins, and just kept it very small. I called the Disney Fairytale Honeymoon, and I asked if it was an option. They told me no. But I said, I just want to get married behind the campsite. That's all, I don't want to do a bunch of big grand stuff. I just want to get married behind the campsite. And she basically explained that the campgrounds fall under a hotel as far as Florida law. And as long as you have enough room to accommodate your guests, no noise complaints, you're really not breaking any rules. So
when she said no to you, she just meant no, we don't offer that.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean you can't do that on your own.
I think they do have a package here where you can do it. You can have your reception at the Mickey's Backyard Barbecue down there. But as far as actually having a ceremony here, they don't have the option to do that.
I imagine it'd be cool to have your reception at the Hoopty-Doo Review.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Everybody comes out singing.
A couple hundred people out here, they just bring you trays of food, and you could have the wedding party set up on the stage.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it as long as you reserve the tables.
I mean, they don't use it in the daytime. It's more of a nighttime thing. They rehearse and they practice there. So since they said no to you, you really didn't have any point of reference for doing it on your own. What is it you did to do your research to see if this was going to be able to be pulled off?
We just requested to have 3, because my sister had a camper, my mother has a camper, and then, so we just requested 3 side-by-side sites. I just told them that we needed a lot of space. I told them we had a lot of family coming. So we asked for a site with a lot of space.
Like a space in the background.
Exactly.
Empty
and
space.
I just told her, that we needed some room for everybody, because there was going to be we had 3 cabins and 3 campsites. So they gave us in the 800 loop. They put us actually like back on that big dog walk that butts up to where the old train used to be, and it's a huge site. It was like God was looking out, Grandpa was looking out, my brother was looking out. They put us exactly where we needed to be because it worked out perfect.
Did you come and scout the area out to see?
Nope. put it in God's hands, and
like, okay,
nope, that was it.
If this had been it, this is a beautiful site.
But
however, there's not a lot. There's a lot of shade here.
And it was because, I mean, we had like 7 or 8 huge Tupperware containers. My sister-in-law's car was packed. My stepmom's car was packed. We had candles, lights. I mean, we got hay bales. We had 4. My husband went about 40 minutes north. I can't remember where he went, but he picked up 4 hay bales, and we used them for people to sit on. He built a little arbor just out of like 3 pieces of wood.
Wow.
So I mean, it was like we put a lot of thought and effort into it, but it was still really, really simple. And they actually delivered us some more picnic tables because they knew we had family camping in.
Oh, that was
so
nice.
We had 6 picnic tables, or maybe 8, and we just kind of placed them where they, you know, just around the area. We made a little aisle. I just had like little mason jars with baby's breath, and everything was done the morning of the wedding. And then I just had to kind of leave. The boys went fishing, and then the girls all kind of decorated, and then I just had to leave and go get ready.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, we had rented a cabin for me that day.
Oh, okay, so I was going to ask you that.
All the girls got ready in the cabin. All the guys got ready in the camper. Yeah, no, you're good.
Camera, but my question is, how far away was your cabin where you got dressed?
We were in the 2700 loop where the cabins are, and so then my husband was in the 800 loop, so we were within a golf cart right away, but I didn't ride in the golf cart. I rode in a car on the way over. So my pastor came up. He actually married us up here. He drove from West Palm. So he was here. He married us, and we had about, I think it was like 43 people. 12 of them were kids, you know, between the ages of 5 and, you know, 10 or 12. But everything worked out pretty good.
What was the reception like?
The reception was just, we ordered barbecue. Everybody had barbecue. We set up some tables and had the easy ups up, and we just had some music going, and we had just a little area. I mean, my husband and I had our first little dance back there, and we did the little garter toss, and everything was kind of just simple. We just wanted everything simple.
So if anybody that was in the 700s that day came out of their tent and just kind of like, what the?
We did.
There was a wedding going on right in
We
front.
had one guy who came over when we were in the middle of taking our big family picture, and
he's like, "Can I join too?
He did.
Can I be
He's like, "I was taking a nap." He's like, and my wife came in and was like, "There's a wedding going on next door. You have to get up." So he actually walked over, and he was like, "Oh, this is amazing. It's so beautiful." We had all the coolers set up with food and drinks, and it was really awesome. It couldn't have it worked out perfect.
And was that the person who took pictures for you?
No, that was Eve Greendale. She's a good friend of mine. We went to school together, and I asked her to come up, and my dad gave her the money, and she was happy to come do it, and it was perfect. That was the one thing I knew from the start. No matter where I got married, I wanted her to do my picture. She's an incredible photographer, and she got the most beautiful pictures, and I will cherish them forever.
You did put up pictures on your page before, and I have seen them.
Yes.
There's a really, really good pictures
she's
and group
amazing.
pictures,
Yep.
and then.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the reception is over, is there anything that you did? Did you go anywhere that night or watch fireworks?
No,
or
we just cleaned up. I didn't want, because it wasn't an authorized Disney wedding,
Sure.
I didn't want, you know, the stuff to stay out all night. I didn't want them to come by in the morning and see all the mason jars out still. So we just kind of picked everything up, and it was a long, long day setting everything up. I mean, it was a really long day. So we called it an early night. The next day, my husband and I and my daughter went to Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
And we just kind of hung out there, and no, I think we spent 2 or 3 more nights here, just the 3 of us, and then we went home afterwards.
So what do you recommend to a bride who wants to do what you did and kind of do their own thing? What are some things that you learned from your experience?
Follow the rules. I mean, as far as the rules, like I said, we really didn't break any rules. We had not one noise complaint. Everything was picked up. We really tried to follow the rules the best that we could. As far as the wedding went, I had to just kind of let things go the way they did. Like you said, did we scout everything out? No. We just let it ride and did, you know, whatever it was, it was. And for a bride, that's really, really hard to just let it be what it's going to be, because you want to plan everything.
Right.
But in this case, you really can't. You just have to just do it. And I was really, really fortunate they put us in that loop, and that I was really fortunate that I had so many friends and family here to help with the lights, because we strung lights around so there would be light, and we had our own little bar set up. Like, it was really, my family went above and beyond for us that day.
You know, it's not too far out of the realm of possibility that when I first moved here to Central Florida to go to school at UCF, that's right around the time they built the wedding pavilion at the Grand Floridian. And you're like, oh, that's kind of cute. But then you realize, and I used to shoot weddings for a while too, and we'd go out there. They do 2, 3 a day. It's like they should have had this for years. why not build a wedding pavilion out at the
agree.
campgrounds? What would be the good location for that?
Maybe like by the Meadows Trading Post? Like in that section
really
by the
pretty
rocks.
over there.
We set up our
first episode.
There's the rocks there, and there's a nice background. That's true. I wonder if anybody ever do anything out by the beach where you'd have the castle and
Yeah, that would be gorgeous.
Or Discovery Island. That would be a good one.
Yes, that would be
The
cool.
island that's not
They could
being
turn it
used
into
anymore.
a
Just
whole
turn it into
wedding.
a
Yep. Take the boat
Wedding-
over.
Great idea.
Wedding Island.
Wedding Island. That's a great idea. I mean, they're not using it for anything. A lot of snakes out there, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Since it hasn't been out there, and no one's used it, but that is a great idea. Just to have like a little wedding island, because you know they get if they do it right, there's a shot of the castle.
Exactly.
Or you'd have your fireworks, or the electric water pageant would go. But that's what you're going to
Exactly.
do one day.
Yeah.
That's her favorite thing, is the electric water pageant. Did
that's
you wear your? I have that pageant.
Yeah,
My
I didn't
daughter,
wear my
too.
shirt today.
We love the electric water pageant. We found a secret place to see it at. On the side of the Contemporary. When the whole parade is over, it goes to 5 different locations, or 6. When it's done, and they shut off the lights and they go back to their little place where it stays for the night, it passes right by the
like a
Contemporary canal. There's a canal right
I
there.
think I know exactly.
Yeah, it's the bridge, the
set up-
water bridge.
Right, okay.
You can set up a camera, and from here to your tent, it passes right by. And once in a while, they'll turn the lights on.
That's
And if you're shooting video, it'll fill the whole screen up. All you kind of do is kind of like wave up, like, turn the lights on. And the boats go by, and they will actually turn the lights on. And you get a real good
It's crazy because you can like see the individual light bulbs.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you see the people on the boats who actually ride the boats. Yeah.
You can wave to them. It's
That's
pretty
great.
great.
So if anybody was to write a book about having a wedding at Fort Wilderness, you should be the one to do it, because do you know of anyone who's done it since then?
I don't. There's been a lot of people that have asked me how I did it, what we did, how we got the site, and you can't request a site here, so it's hard for someone to say, oh, I want to get that site, can I please? You can't, they can say yes, we'll try, but it's really up in the air kind of thing. But I was nervous. There was a lot, my husband's cousin is a Brevard County sheriff, and he was invited to the wedding with his wife and his 2 kids, and we were in the cabin getting ready, and my sister-in-law came up to me, and she had this look of panic on her face, and she was like, there's a cop outside, and I was like, what? So I came out the door, and I looked, and he still had his helmet on because he's a motorcycle cop.
Oh, okay, so he got to ride right in here.
Yeah, and they were actually waiting for Vice President Biden when he was here. It was that day he was here, so they were waiting in the Tom Petty. The racetrack is where they were waiting for him to come in.
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty,
Yeah.
yes. And so he was there. He couldn't make it to the wedding, but he decided he'd just drop by and say hi and give me a little bit of a heart attack. So I thought they were coming to break up the wedding because they found out something was going on. He takes off his helmet, and it's his cousin. I'm like, you scared me to death.
Do you have a permit for this wedding? I'm going to have to ask you guys to leave.
So yeah, it was just one little hiccup, but everything else went off really great, and our neighbors were really awesome. They saw what was going on. I think they kind of just thought we were setting up for like a family reunion or something, but then once they saw the girls in their dresses and they saw me, and it was like, oh, it's a
That's
wedding.
a fancy family
Yeah,
reunion.
exactly. And the girls all wore cowboy boots, so they fit right in, and it was really great.
So the number 1 rule is follow the rules, is what Ashley is saying. Anything else you can think of you would suggest to a bride?
Just relax and just let it ride. That's
That's
the
what
only
Fort Wilderness
advice.
is for.
Yes, it is. It truly is, and that's I think why we love it so much. Is it just you break away from the busyness and the business and just kind of just relax for a couple days. And my family, some of my family had never even been here before, and they were just like floored.
Yeah,
my uncle, my aunt, they couldn't believe how beautiful it was. And when everybody left, they were like, oh, we see why you wanted to get married here. Like, they couldn't believe how
The
beautiful.
fanciest campsite.
Yeah, truly. It really is. It really is.
Okay, so follow the rules. Just be cool. Whatever's going to happen, happens. The weather was cooperative for
The weather
you?
was great. We did it in November, but we thought it would be a little bit cooler than it was, but it really wasn't. The cold front was delayed by like a week, so the cold weather came after.
We have that thing during Halloween when we go trick-or-treating with the kids. We could either be sweating to death or freezing cold.
freezing,
You
yes.
never know.
Florida.
I know, you never know. Or you could have a
Or
5-minute
rain in
rain
1
shower
second. Yep.
and then that's gone. Did you go any place in particular to take pictures? Or just
We believe it or not, it was just such a beautiful site. The canal, we were right there on the canal, so we had the canal to take pictures on. We did a lot of pictures with the arbor in the back, and then the hay bales, everything. The theme that kind of we just put into everything, it was just a perfect with the lights. I mean, everything was just perfect. We didn't really have to go anywhere or do anything to take pictures because everything around us was just so beautiful. It was like my photographer was like, the light is perfect right now. Come on, we have to take pictures before it goes away. I'm like, all right. So, no, it was great. It was perfect.
And you can see Ashley's pictures up on her Facebook page. I think you've got them on there. And remind everybody the name of your Facebook page.
It's Disney's Fort Wilderness Camping Group.
Disney's Fort Wilderness Camping Group. And you've got, and if you want to be a member on that page, you kind of have to click on it and you get kind of permission. And then Ashley does a thorough background check on you. And then she
no negativity.
That's good. Well, thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
And congratulations on having one of the only weddings I've ever heard of here at the campgrounds. And so if there's a bride out there frantically Google searching wedding Disney campgrounds, maybe this will pop up.
Yes,
And
Google Fort Wilderness Bride and Groom. Maybe it'll pop up.
Yeah, how many could pop up? Fort Wilderness Bride and Groom. You might be the only Google search. Here comes one of those squirrels we were talking about. It's coming into the back.
Oh, yeah. He likes it here.
Well, it's nice and shady, and there's a fan also. Well, good. Well, thank you very much for
Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good day.
Hey everybody, just a couple of quick announcements before we end the episode for the day. The contest that Dawn and Ray from Camper Rental Adventures of DeLeon Springs is running. We want to thank everybody for submitting their letters to us. We have now sent the letters over to our judges, our panel of judges, and they're going to determine who the winners are for that contest. Once again, that contest is Dawn and Ray are offering a free weekend in one of their RVs. You'll get the RV free for the weekend. You'll get a fully stocked refrigerator, and the camping site itself will be paid for. All you got to do is show up, and they're going to make an announcement live on our show, the Fort Wilderness Podcast, somewhere in the third week of August, I believe. We'll keep you updated on that on our page to let you know exactly when that is going to be. But look for that around the third week of August. We're going to do a live show and announce who the winners are for that. Also, we wanted to mention that you may have noticed on our Facebook page that we are selling t-shirts now. We've got t-shirts, we've got iPhone cases. Here, I got this one for me. Fort Wilderness Podcast. We've got iPhone cases, t-shirts, pillows, tote bags, coffee mugs, things like that have got the logo on it. Also, we made a new one this week with hashtag, what was the hashtag again? BBTT. Bring back the train. Earlier this month, we at home here, we had listened to an episode of Retro WDW, and they'd done an entire episode on the Fort Wilderness trains that used to go through the park, the campgrounds. And that's something that we've always wished that we could have taken part of. And so I thought we'd start a little something called BBTT, a hashtag BBTT. Bring back the train. If you want to listen to this episode, it was a great episode about the history of the trains at Fort Wilderness. Go to retrowdw.com and look for one of the most recent episodes. Also, something else we wanted to mention is Bird and Robot. This is something that Reese, you may have seen her on the show here. She's the one who's giving you the tours every day. Bird and Robot is found on her YouTube page, and her YouTube page is called Electric Umbrella Productions. We'll have a link to it up here, or actually you'll see it on our actual Fort Wilderness Podcast page. It's her interpretation of Robot from Epcot. It's a whole thing, but she's got a couple of different things. She also did something a while back about if Epcot could talk. She's very big into the Epcot history, and she just posted a new video, and it's called Bird and Robot on Electric Umbrella Productions. That's all for now. Now back to the episode. That's all for now. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to find us on YouTube. We also are on Podbean and iTunes. Thanks again to Ashley for talking to us about her wedding. We also want to say thank you to everyone who's been writing in letters to us asking about the show. We really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube page. We hope to see you all again next month. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, Brian.